Hello, beauties. How are you? I want to talk about natural hair in the workplace, in corporate America, on any job setting. Now, some people may or may not believe that their hair plays a role in how they're perceived on a job. But let me tell you, it does play a role. Now, the question is, you have to ask yourself if you feel you're being perceived in a positive light, a negative light, or somewhere in between. Now we're going to talk about all three, and I have tips to help you in any situation on your job in regards to your natural hair. Okay, now the first thing that I do want to just give you a little bit about my background. I'm a former reporter and anchor. I have a background in television news. And when I started my career as a reporter, I was wearing my hair straight. It was a personal choice. As I evolved and I wanted to wear my hair natural, ironically, I became the boss. So I felt empowered to wear my hair natural. I remember I was wearing my hair in cornrows and I was wearing wigs. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to wear my hair natural. And so I wore my hair natural, and then people on my job, they were like, oh my, your hair is just so awesome, or it just looks so great. And it was funny. And then I made a bold move and I wore my hair natural on air, on television, on the newscast. So I stood up for all of my natural sisters. I stood up for you. I wore my hair on television. My natural hair, I don't care. And people loved it. So I was empowered. Okay, so now back to you. The first thing you need to do on your job in regards to natural hair is to make sure you're thriving at your job. Now, I don't settle for mediocrity, and hopefully you don't settle either. So I want to make sure you're doing the best that you can, you're creating value, you're getting along with your colleagues, with your supervisors, just doing a great job. Okay. Number two, you need to assess your environment. Figure out if it's an environment that is positive, that is negative, in regards to you just as an individual, in regards to your hair. Do you feel like you're being perceived in a negative light? Do you feel like you're being perceived in a positive light? Or do you feel like it doesn't matter, like your job performance is not contingent upon your hair? You can be you can work as a telemarketer and it doesn't matter for your job per se. However, it may matter as to how your supervisor is perceiving you or how your colleagues are perceiving you. So when I say assess the environment in relations to how others are perceiving you. Okay. If you assess the environment and it's positive and you're doing your job, people don't care how you wear your hair, then you know what? Congratulations, thrive. If you're unsure about the environment, then here's what you need to do. You need to find someone you trust. Maybe if you have a mentor there, or if you don't have a mentor, someone that has always been helpful to you, and then just be open and honest with them and say, I want to do my very best on a job, and I just want to see how other people how they perceive my creativity with my hair. Don't say diversity, don't say race, don't make it a black thing, even though it kind of is, but don't even say that. Just say, I just want to see how people are perceiving my creativity through my hair. See, I'm gonna tell you what to say. But our goal here is to make sure you're being treated fairly. So you ask the question and see what they tell you. If they say, oh, it doesn't matter, and you feel like it doesn't matter, then okay. If they're hesitating, if they're telling you something and that's nondescript, or if they flat out telling you, yeah, I've heard people talking about you or this and that, then you need to make a decision. You can make a decision, okay? Now, if you need to decide if this is an environment that you want to stay in, or if you want to wear a wig, it's totally up to you. It's up to you. Now, if you're in a situation where it's extremely negative, and you feel like it has something to do with your hair, the first thing you need to do, and you need to be bold. Remember, this is your career. You need to ask Human Resources for a copy of your personnel file, and it needs to be through email, so it's documented. So you can say something, you know, I just want to make sure I'm doing the very best that I can. Always keep it positive. I want to track my progress. I would like a copy of my personnel file. And the reason for that is because you want to have a record of your evaluations, how you're doing at the job. Because trust me, I know this has happened before. Sometimes supervisors, sometimes they put stuff in your file, secret write-ups. They say you're doing one thing and you're really not. And it's because they're trying to secretly plot to get rid of you for any dumb superficial reason. It could be the superficial reason of how you wear your hair. So once again, my concern is making sure you're protected and being treated fairly. So I am going to give you my experience, my knowledge with corporate America, with just being in a position of decision-making abilities, being in a leadership position. I know how some things can happen, because remember, people are people. Sometimes people don't do the right thing, but that's the first thing you need to do. You need to get a copy of your file. And then also you may want to consult with a lawyer. Consult with a lawyer. Then you want to review your company's manual. Do they have a section in there about appearance? I mean, most jobs want you to be presentable, but is there a specific section in there that says you have to you have to wear your hair a certain way? Like if you're in a restaurant industry, then you have to wear a bonnet over your hair. So that's what I'm talking about. Or if you're in the makeup industry, they have certain rules. If you're in the news business, sometimes they have separate rules where it is not so much focused on the texture of your hair. They just don't want your hair to be overpowering. And I've seen women of all races, they've been asked to cut their hair. Even when I started as a reporter, I was wearing my hair straight. I was wearing a weave. So my boss asked me to cut my hair, so it wasn't a big deal because I was wearing a weave. But anyway, if you're in a negative environment, I'm not sure what positive can come out of it. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, pay your bills, don't quit your job because of this video. What I'm saying is make some decisions to get to a positive environment. That may mean creating your own business. It may mean teaching some classes, going back to school, or getting another job. But if they're mistreating you because of your hair, then it's probably not going to get better. So those are my tips. And then also this is as a bonus, and this is just my personal opinion. On an interview, I don't suggest wearing an afro. And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm giving you my wisdom. I'm telling you what other people may not tell you. And it's not a matter of you conforming. It's a matter of you getting what's yours, what's rightfully yours, getting a job. If you're wearing an afro or any style that is really big, it's distracting to the average person. Remember, people have a low attention span. When you're at a job, you want people to focus on your candidacy. So is it racist? Perhaps. Or is it people just don't have the attention span to pay attention? They're so focused on your beautiful hair, they're missing out on what you bring to the table. Either way, whether it's racist or whether it's just that, you know, they're just so focused on your hair, the goal is for you to get the job. So I would say if you have an afro, maybe just brush it down or, you know, or pull it back. And then we get the job. Rock your hair. You know, that's just my opinion. But so these are some of the tips. If you have any questions, please post them. If you have any comments, let me know. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm curious to hear your story. I'm very passionate about making sure people thrive in the workplace. And I don't want anything like you expressing your creativity or being fabulous with your hair. I don't want any of that standing in the way of your progress. So those are my thoughts. I will see you next time. Be loving, be empowered.